Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 25 of season 1, featuring the letter Y.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. Today's hello is something very familiar.
Okay.
Yasas.
Oh.
Or Yasu. Or
Yasu?
Ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, it's Greek for anybody who doesn't know that. So a couple things in the news.
Okay.
And it's all about sports, you know me.
I know.
So we're in the All-Star break.
Oh.
Yeah. And the home run derby is tonight. It's Monday night. Going to be at Dodger Stadium in LA. Pete Alonso of the New York Mets is going for his third home run derby in a row.
Wow.
All right. Now, there's only 3 players who've done it back to back. Ken Griffey Jr. has had 3, but not 3 in a row. So this guy is going for a back to back. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully he gets it. We'll see. All right. Then on Tuesday night is the All-Star game, of which the Mets have Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Starling Marte, and Edwin Diaz. By the way, the Mets are in first place. They're ahead by about 2.5 games.
Oh my God, you must be losing your mind.
I'm losing my mind. And the Yankees are in first place also.
Oh my God.
They're 13 games ahead of second place. Oh, they're kicking butt. Both teams are just kicking butt.
Awesome.
And the Yankees have 6 players going to the All-Star game. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Jose Trevino, Nestor Cortez, Garrett Cole, and Clay Holmes. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they got like their own team, just the Yankees and the Mets.
Exactly. They'll just play each other.
They just play everybody.
It'll be a Subway series for the All-Star game. It'll be great. Yeah. So what's going on with you, Z?
Well, a couple of things. We just got back from Myrtle Beach.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So I'm in various places, tan and red. And I've got some nice stripes.
Yeah. First red, then tan, right?
Yes. Yeah. But my hands are really tan. Can you see the stripe?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah. The rash guard doesn't cover the hands.
I hear you.
But I also just found out yesterday I had to go to orientation for a little guy because he's going to middle school now.
That's right. Yeah.
Drop off for middle school is 7 a.m.
Oh.
7.
That means what time?
Jeepers. That means we have to be up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
To get him.
Can you do that within an hour? Get up and get him going and drive there?
Well, it's 15
and be
minutes.
early.
Well, drop off starts at 7. It's over at 7:25.
Okay.
Him, I don't know. He's starting to sleep later just in time to have to get up and go earlier. And me, the 8 o'clock one was a struggle. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's so hard.
You're a night person.
I am a night person. They have no respect for me and people like me. So I don't know. But we toured his school. It's enormous. It's gigantic.
Really?
Yeah, it's got like 3 floors and
3 floors.
Yeah, it's got sitting areas with couches and tables. It's like a college
just to hang out
door. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, what the heck is this? I know.
Should be interesting.
It's going to be, I think. They have 2 gyms for crying out loud.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So crazy things are afoot over here.
Yeah.
You know.
When's it get started?
The 25th he goes back.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they'll be here before you know it.
I know. We're going to have to spend that time trying to adjust our sleeping, waking schedules to get this done.
Sure.
So that's that.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. Good to see you.
And you.
Yeah. It's been a week. It's like
weird. Know, it's weird.
Instead of talking every day.
I know.
It's weird, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on.
Yay. I've got 10 questions.
I've got 10 answers.
How about 11?
Oh,
I could throw in a bonus one.
All right. I like the bonus.
You like the bonus one should be pretty good. Okay. So first question. Is it fun to stay at the YMCA?
I have never in my life.
Neither have I. Never. I've never even gone.
I don't think I've ever gone either.
No, not at all.
But I
I can sing that song though.
Yeah, and I can do the thing,
the letters.
The hand. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Unless it's a bunch of your friends, you know, that's the only thing I can think of. Okay, so next question, all with a Y, by the way. Yeah. Favorite yellow item that you have?
All right, this is gonna seem really weird, but I have a Tweety Bird statue.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I've had it for a really, really long time.
Since you were a kid?
Teenager.
I've had it for a really long time. I bought it last week.
No. But I had this phase where I said once that I liked Tweety Bird, and then everybody that I knew bought me Tweety Bird stuff.
Right.
But the statue is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's like a legacy item, you know?
Sure. I have this one really nice yellow vase that I really like a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. I like to color yellow, by the way. You used to when you were little. You like pink, blue, purple, and yellow.
Oh.
I remember. Because I made you a statue one time and I asked you what your favorite colors were, and that's what you told me. And do you remember the little statue I made for you, the little girl? No,
ceramics? Yes, I do.
Thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Last time you used yeast?
I never use yeast.
No? Did you bake bread during the pandemic? Were you one of those people who did that? No. Okay. The sourdough thing.
And I have a bread maker, but that you just put a mix in there. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to like mix the yeast and all that. No.
It's been a couple of years for me because I do pizza crust. I make my own pizza crust.
Oh, I buy that too.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. My mother used to use yeast all the time. All the time. Well, she used to make bread. So. Yeah. Okay, next question. Do you Yahoo?
No.
No?
I mean, back in the day I did.
I did too.
But
I still have an email or two out there.
I've never done that. No, I've never had a Yahoo email address.
I have. Yeah. For one of my websites for business, I still do.
Nah.
Okay, next question. Yams or sweet potatoes at Thanksgiving?
Sweet potatoes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I do both.
I like sweet potatoes.
Oh, I do too.
I like them with cinnamon sugar. Yummy.
Usually with the yams, I do the marshmallow kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then with the sweet potato, I whip them up.
Yeah.
You know,
I just do them baked.
I do that too. Sometimes.
Just a baked and then just do the.
Depends on how many people I have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We usually like share one because there's so many things to eat.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's an easy portion control situation.
This is true.
Because they can get out of control.
Especially Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you or did you like yodels? You know, the little yodel cakes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
From Drake's?
Yeah.
How did you used to eat them?
You unravel them.
You used to totally unravel them?
Yeah.
I used to peel off the chocolate first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to unravel them. I used to deconstruct everything, even like, you know, those little cinnamon pecan.
Yeah. The rolls.
Things.
The rolls. Yeah.
Yeah. Unravel everything. I never took a bite out of anything.
It's like, why did we do stuff like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Idea. I would probably still do it to this day, though. If somebody gave me a yodel, I would probably just peel off the chocolate first and then eat the cake with the cream in it.
I would absolutely
deconstruct it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Yogi Bear or Yosemite Sam?
Yosemite Sam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew. He was little and he would actually like lift when he fired his guns and stuff.
For me, it would be Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Boo, boo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Love that. I grew up with that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I grew up with Yosemite Sam too.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, next question. Why is yawning contagious?
Mirror neurons.
There you go.
That's the reason.
Okay, well, thank you for that answer.
Sorry. Actually know the answer to the question.
I thought we were going to get into a discussion. Like, I have no idea why. Why is that?
Sorry, I do know. They use that yawning tell. Okay. To see if a person is empathetic or if they may have sociopathic tendencies. Right. If your mirror neurons aren't firing, then you will not have yawning be a contagious thing.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Okay. Next question. Mm-hmm. Could you live on a yacht? Ooh. Depends how big it is, right?
Exactly. I've thought about this because Overboard is a favorite.
Right. Mine too.
And they did spend a lot of time on that yacht. Mm-hmm. And I've seen.
Well, that's where they lived, right? They lived on that yacht.
Yeah. They lived on that yacht. And I think if it was big enough, yes, I could. But there are some smaller yachts that I don't think I would be. I wouldn't feel safe in.
Yeah. I know what you mean. There is an element of safety for sure when you're on the water. Yeah. I'm going to say big fat no. Okay. Big fat no on that because I like to jump in the car. I'm a car person.
I do too. I do. But I think if they were like live on this yacht or live in a shack, I'd be like, okay, I'll live on the yacht. Might as well.
Are we going back to Overboard?
Might as well go see some places then, And the one thing that I think would be cool is like if you were going to do a bunch of tours of places, to be able to just take your room with you, your amenities and the things that you're comfortable with. I think would be a very advantageous thing. Go tour all the little Greek islands and stuff like that.
Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. A yacht there.
Yeah.
That I get.
Yeah.
Or even in the Caribbean, that would be cool
exactly.
Too.
That there too,
Yeah. I mean, when you have islands and stuff, but just to be on the Pacific or the Atlantic, I don't think so for me. Okay. 10th question, by the way.
Oh.
Favorite yogurt?
That's tough. I like the whipped kind, and they have like key lime pie and stuff like that.
I love that.
So I like the whipped ones. It's really like light and fluffy and.
See, I'm the opposite. I like the heavy stuff. I like the Greek yogurt.
Yeah. The lighter stuff works a little bit better for me because I don't really eat milk products, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I have a little bonus question.
Okay.
Did you ever see that movie Yesterday?
Yes, I have seen that.
What did you think of that movie?
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was surprisingly good for me. I really kind of didn't even like the idea.
I know. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird idea. I liked the guy who played John Lennon. I like that guy.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. He was believable.
He was.
Wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
And the musician, the guy who was the main character, he was excellent.
He was.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though living in a world without Beatles songs?
No, I can't. Not
how
at
weird
all.
That would be.
Not at all. Especially for somebody like me, and I think you too, how important the Beatles have been.
Absolutely. Ever since I was a little kid sitting in the back of my parents' car.
Sure. And we've talked about this when we talked about the Beatles, that I'm one of those people that the Ed Sullivan Show changed my life.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
For me, there was no life before them. They have just been there forever, so I can't even imagine ever there being a time when they didn't exist in my life. Mm-hmm. But I did like the fact that he gave them all away for free, all the songs.
Absolutely.
That was the right thing to do.
Yeah, you got it. Like I said, I was very skeptical, but it was a decent movie. It really was.
Yeah. And you know what else I was thinking about when I was watching that? Like he had to remember all the words and the music to all the songs and like hurry up and like write them down before he was like forgetting them. Yeah. And I thought to myself,
there's no
would
reference.
I be able to do that?
I know.
Would I be able to just recall them all off the top of my head?
That would be
how tough that might be.
Yeah.
And then he did find those other two people who did remember as well.
Remember that?
And they kind of
came together.
Kind of pieced a little bit together as well, Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are the questions.
Those are good questions.
Thanks. I have one last comment about a why.
Okay.
Our podcast is on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it is. I YouTube a lot. Do you YouTube?
I do.
I do
all the
too.
time.
I YouTubed when I had to and install the microwave, remember? And put the microwave back in.
Exactly.
That stuff is helpful. I've done it for like all kinds of appliances. I've done it for.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we were changing the thermostats on hubby's motor for the boat. And we YouTubed it. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's simple. I could do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's
such a
YouTube.
wonderful thing. It really is. Yeah.
But by the way, we are on it also.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And AT does a really wonderful job putting that little video together. Thank you very much, AT.
If I had more time, I could be a little bit more creative, but yeah, but it was easy, you know.
It's good.
Just a little time consuming.
Yeah.
Letter Y, sense or nonsense.
Alrighty.
Topic is yoga.
Yoga. All right.
You up for it?
Yeah.
Sense, I know. Sense or nonsense. The difference of yoga and hot yoga is the temperature of the room.
Yes, right? Sense?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Hot yoga is held in a room that can reach temperatures up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which have many physical and mental benefits.
Not for me.
No, me neither. Are you kidding me?
I feel like I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's not helpful for me.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, the next question. Sense or nonsense? Prisoners in India can reduce their sentencing by just doing yoga.
Sure.
It's true. Yeah. Inmates can attend and complete a 3-month yoga course, which can reduce their sentencing. Prison authorities feel that yoga not only improves their fitness, but also makes them calmer, less violent, and improves their mental health towards a more positive life.
Yeah. So why should it be any different for inmates? You know, those are the benefits outside too, you know?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You can only think it would help.
Yeah. Okay, sense or nonsense. Yoga is an Olympic sport.
I sincerely hope that's nonsense.
It's true.
What?
As of the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio, it became an official sport.
Why?
Each participant performs 5 mandatory poses, and the judges rate the contestants on their strength, flexibility, timing, and breathing.
Yeah. Bogus.
No. Yeah, 2016 it started.
When couch potatoing becomes an Olympic sport, I'm
in.
Yeah.
Okay, some factoids. Yoga is over 5,000 years old. It's one of the oldest physical disciplines in the world. There's over 100 styles of yoga. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit language that means union. I think that's beautiful.
It is.
Male yoga practitioners are known as yogis. Female practitioners are known as yoginis. I didn't know that. Anyway.
I didn't either. I've only heard them referred to as yogis for both genders. Yeah.
Over 36 million people in the US practice yoga regularly. Yoga was originally practiced as a form of healing, not only physical, but also for emotional and mental health.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of breathing and slowing down and focusing involved.
Right.
So,
right. Many medical centers have yoga as a complementary therapy alongside with their regular treatments.
Nice.
So it's getting to be worldwide, obviously. And the last thing I have was like a follow-up from our last segment about the Beatles.
Okay.
George Harrison was intrigued with the Indian culture, and he wanted to master the sitar, which led him to do meditation, and he was a big proponent of yoga. So
he was, yeah,
Eastern spirituality. So he was big into that.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. It's yoga.
Little guy likes it.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing. I wish I can get into it more, you know.
Well,
I like physical. I like to race my heart, but there's something to be said about flexibility and the inner health.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We do yoga for kids. He and I do it together.
Nice.
And it gives him, I think, an opportunity to slow down and use his body in a focused way, which is different. But to be honest with you, he also likes doing Tai Chi with me. So he likes that coordinated movement. I think it is helpful because it forces you to really pay attention to what you're doing.
Right.
It forces you to be in that moment
and listen to your body.
And it does. And you're focusing your breath, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, I wish I could get into it. I really do.
You know, I've tried to do it on my own, the adult versions of stuff of yoga, and it's just not something that I tend to keep up with.
You almost have to have something pushing you.
You do. I think that's why people go to classes and stuff like that.
I think
so
you're
they
right.
do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to get into it. As a complimentary of, working out on the elliptical and the treadmill and that sort of thing.
I have an app on my phone that has like little videos and stuff like that. It's just taking the time to do it.
That's
really
what it is,
You know. Yeah. Okay, I have a pick a why. Are you ready for it?
I am.
Yogi Bogey Box. Do you have any idea what Yogi Bogey Box means?
Never heard of it in my life.
Yogi Bogey Box are materials used by a spiritualist.
Okay.
I don't understand how that connects at all.
Does it have to do with a yogi, like from the yoga people?
No extra explanation is given. It's just this right here. And I was like, I'm looking through the words, and there are others that I think are interesting, like yobbery means hooliganism. Did they really need another word for it?
I don't think so.
No, like hooliganism is pretty good, right?
Right.
Also, this one I find interesting as well. Yarborough means a hand of cards containing no card above 9.
Is it spelled just like Kill Yarborough?
I think so. Yarbro UGH. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yarborough. Hand of cards containing no card above 9.
Interesting.
I know. I have a real Yarborough here. Like, who talks like that?
Don't know. But I just Googled Yogi Bogey Box.
Yeah.
And Yogi Bogey Doggies came up.
Nuh-uh. There's a Yogi Bogey Doggies?
Yogi Bogey Doggies.
Excellent. Like, and what the heck? Who came up with this word?
Yeah. I have no idea. I've never heard of this stuff before.
Either.
So
Me either.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting word.
Yeah. Yogi Bogey Box. Let's use it.
How?
Use it in a sentence.
Hey, what have you got in your Yogi Bogey box?
Oh, well, let me go check. I don't know. Oh, man. When we were planning for letter Y, you and I talked about maybe including something. I did some research. All right.
Okay.
Yogi Berra.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was fantastic. I grew up watching him, because my family was Yankee fans. He was not only on the Yankees, but he was on the Mets too, as well as a manager and a coach. He was on both teams, which was great. But he was also known for his yogiisms.
Yes.
So I have a couple. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My favorite, of which I say it all the time. It ain't over till it's over. All the time. It's like deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
That's a really
I think
good.
That one has entered the pop culture.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. You can observe a lot by just watching.
Yes, you can. It's true.
We made too many wrong mistakes. Baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. He's got another one that's similar too. 90% of the game is half mental. So funny. Okay. Never answer an anonymous letter. Why buy good luggage? You only use it when you travel.
Oh my God.
Yeah. A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. No one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded. The future ain't what it used to be.
No, it ain't.
No. I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4. Love is the most important thing in the world, but baseball is pretty good too. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. But yeah, it
He's
ain't over
famous
till
for
it's
that.
over.
I know. It ain't over till it's over.
I love that one. Yeah. So that's my yogi-isms.
I love it.
Yeah. We wanted to just mention someone with a Y that pertains to music. So I picked Neil Young. So I used to follow Neil Young when he was in Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Mm-hmm. Then you backtrack a little bit. Then it's like, oh, he was in Buffalo Springfield with Stephen Stills. I picked up 2 of his albums. One was Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. And that album is fantastic, by the way. It has Cinnamon Girl, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, Down by the River, and Cowgirl in the Sand. Of course, he was with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and they were at Woodstock. Their main album was Deja Vu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good album.
It was a great album. And that had Woodstock, Teach Your Children, Our House. So great hits. Mm-hmm. Then the other album that he had a solo album was After the Gold Rush, and that was in 1970. Rolling Stone named that album 71st greatest album of all time. That was one of my favorite albums as I was growing up. Tell Me Why, After the Gold Rush, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Southern Man, Don't Let It Bring You Down. Some great songs.
Yeah.
Some absolute great songs. Then he came up with another album, which was Harvest. And Rolling Stone has that one. It's number 78. That one has Old Man, Heart of Gold, Alabama, The Needle, and The Damage Done. You know how you have one song that kind of sticks with you for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's the song that's been sticking with me for the past couple of days when I've been thinking about this. So Neil Young's received several Grammy nominations and a few awards and some Juno Awards. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once as a solo artist in 1995 and the other in 1997, along with Buffalo Springfield.
I'm surprised Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young isn't in the Hall of Fame.
I am too. I think they should be.
Yeah.
Just the 3 members of Crosby, Stills and Nash are not with Young. Yeah, I'm a little surprised considering that Deja Vu was such a big album and Woodstock was huge, you know?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. How about them bananas? But anyway, good songwriter, good performer. So I'm all about his early stuff. I really am. Love it a lot. And, you know, I guess I hear that all the time on Classic Rewind and Classic Vinyl when I listen. So yeah, it's cool.
I heard it today when I was bowling. I heard a Neil Young song. I'm like, I haven't heard a Neil Young song in ages. And then
you knew we were going to talk about him, right?
Yeah, and there it is.
It's like, it's the world telling us.
It is.
You know,
it's true.
Yeah. So anyway, he's 76 now, originally from Toronto, Canada. And that's really all I got on him. So there you have it. Yeah,
that's good. I knew we were going to do Neil Young. You were going to touch on that, but I couldn't let Y go without mentioning Yanni. And there's a specific reason for that, but
other than us being Greek?
Other than us being Greek.
Okay.
And him being Greek.
Yes.
And he's a Greek American composer, pianist, music producer, creating mostly instrumental works. Right. And they usually fall under that new age album kind of category. And he's also well known for producing concert videos at historical monument sites, and they usually air on PBS.
Right.
His Live at the Acropolis concert was the second best-selling music concert video of all time.
That was legendary.
It was legendary. And he's done a bunch of others like the Taj Mahal, the Pyramid, Sphinx at Giza, Forbidden City, et cetera, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But Yanni popularized the combination of electronic music synthesizers with a full symphony orchestra and has been called a true global artist for his eclectic fusion of music from different cultures. He started playing piano at age 6 and he's self-taught and he even created his own way of writing music. So he came here when he went to university and he got a BA in psychology. And then he threw that out basically because he decided he wanted to do music and he was in rock bands for a little while in the 70s and 80s. Then in the 90s is when he switched over to contemporary instrumental music, and he was gaining a lot of popularity. So in comes Live at the Acropolis concert, 1993 in Athens. And he used his core band and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, which is a 60-piece orchestra. And it was broadcast on PBS and became one of its most popular programs ever.
Absolutely.
Seen in 65 countries by 500 million people and sold more than 7 million copies worldwide, including a copy to our house. It was very popular in our house. And while PBS was running it, it was basically on a loop for as long as they had it on. I would come home from somewhere, my mother would be watching it. I'd be like, oh my God, again? You're watching Yanni again? And the answer was always yes. It was constantly on. Yeah. I mean, I think
I watched it. I can't tell you how many times too.
How many times?
Yeah.
If we weren't watching, if it wasn't on, then the tape was on, you know, or the CD was on. Right. It was constantly on. It like permeated everything that year. Yeah. And I think like even my senior year of high school, it was just like constantly on Yanni. Right. This is such a big thing for my childhood that I had to just say something about it and say that he's had at least 16 albums have peaked at #1. Right. 2 albums received Grammy Award nominations. He's performed in more than 30 countries on 5 continents and has performed live in concert before more than 5 million people, accumulated more than 40 platinum and gold albums globally with sales totaling over 25 million copies. Crazy. Crazy.
I know.
In August of 2020, he released his 19th studio album. It contains solo piano performances of previously released songs and his first piano solo since 1993.
Cool.
Pretty good, but I
pretty
will never,
impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will never
live at the Acropolis.
Live at the Acropolis. Oh my God. And you know, the thing is funny about that too, is like we watched it, of course. We were going to watch it. There was no way we weren't. But everybody's house you went to, they had it on too. Yeah. It was just everywhere.
A thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. I have to mention his birth name.
Yes, you go ahead and do that because I didn't want to wreck it.
It's Yannis Christomalis.
Oh my God, I would have gotten it right. And he was born in Kalamata.
Kalamata, same as my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's now 67.
Yeah, 1954. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Had to mention Yanni. And I mean, for a while too, it did enter the pop culture because he was wearing that white shirt. It was like a pirate shirt kind of thing.
And the long hair.
And the long hair. It was in the pop culture for a long time. You can see movies and TV shows from that time reference it a lot. So
absolutely.
Yeah. It was a big thing.
Cool.
For my featured Y TV show, I have picked Young Sheldon.
I like that one too.
Started in 2017 with Ian Armitage playing a young Sheldon Cooper.
And he does a great job.
Yes, he does.
Smart kid.
Zoe Perry playing a younger version of his mother, Mary Cooper. Right. And we all know Sheldon well from The Big Bang Theory.
Very well.
Yes.
Yes.
And we also know his mother, who was played by Laurie Metcalf, because she made quite a few guest appearances on that show. And she was excellent.
Yes.
We loved her so much that when Young Sheldon came out, I was like, wow, Zoe Perry is doing an amazing job with her inflections and looks and mannerisms and everything that Laurie did. I was like, wow, she really did her homework. And, you know, I'm sure she did, but also Laurie Metcalf is Zoe Perry's mother. So
there you have it.
Yeah. It was just a lot of fun. But she also played a younger version of her mom on Roseanne. So you know, she's got some experiences playing her. Lance Barber plays George Sr., Sheldon's dad, and Montana Jordan plays Georgie, his brother.
Right.
Reagan Rayford, I hope I'm saying that right, plays Missy, Sheldon's twin, and she does a really good job as well.
I really like her too.
Yeah. Annie Potts as Sheldon's Meemaw rounds out the main cast, and she is excellent. Excellent. Yeah. She says that Dolly Parton was kind of her inspiration for that character. So
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. I think in their no nonsense and her hair. I love her
Sure,
hair.
I do too.
So Jim Parsons, the original Sheldon Cooper, narrates the show. Yes. And it's good fun to see some of the trials and tribulations that Sheldon dealt with as a child, some of which we heard about on BBT. Mm-hmm. But Ian Armitage said he was committed to this role of Sheldon thanks to Jim Parsons coaching him and explaining who Sheldon was.
Oh, okay.
So the show is actually Jim Parsons' idea. And then he took it to Chuck Lorre. And of course, he's like, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. And it starts in 1989 when Sheldon was about 9 years old. And he skipped 4 grades and he's going into high school with his brother, Georgie.
Right.
And they're in the same class. And that really doesn't go well for anyone. It's a nightmare for all. Yeah. Except the school principal, who loves Sheldon being there because they get money and accolades. Yeah. But Sheldon is a big pain in the butt and it causes a lot of problems. He corrects the teachers. He doesn't want to do things, he has his own key to the teacher's bathroom. So he doesn't have to go to the bathroom with the rest of the kids. He just makes a nuisance of himself generally. He complains about all kinds of things and it's a nightmare. Yeah. So he finally gets himself through high school, even though he wants to go to college. Like intellectually, he's ready to go to college, but emotionally, he is not ready to go to college. No. And his mother doesn't think he is emotionally ready to go to college. And she's right. Sure. He's not. No. But he is kind of stifled in high school because he is so far and above everybody there, including all the adults, that it does make for quite a lot of friction. So we're 5 seasons in now, mm-hmm. and now Sheldon is in college. He's gotten over some of that, and he has to, grow up a little bit and have independence and handle things on his own without running to his mom all the time. And he's also starting to tackle puberty, which is mm-hmm. an interesting thing. And now we're seeing a little bit more of the resulting childhood that Sheldon talks about in Big Bang Theory is starting to come up. His mm-hmm. brother Georgie has gotten an older girl pregnant now. Right. And they're dealing with some fallout from that with town gossip and church gossip. Yeah, of course. George Sr. is becoming increasingly dissatisfied with his life. And so, we're starting to see him waver a little bit on the whole career thing, on the whole marriage and family thing. He just seems like he is starting to go down a not so great path. And right. So we're seeing how the family has to deal with that. And also, how Sheldon is dealing with all these changes in his life. We're getting a lot of explanations as to why he's the way he is as an adult. He is socially challenged as a child, but these things are starting to happen to him and he's starting to lose some control over his environment, which is why he so very much wants to control his environment when he gets older so he feels safe. So mm-hmm. we're getting a lot of insight into Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, some groundwork, right? Yeah, a lot's going on. And when the series first came out, we were really excited about it because Big Bang Theory is still on. Yeah, when this first came out. Exactly. Yeah. And when Ian Armitage started playing, first of all, he is adorable. He's completely adorable. Yeah. But I wanted to just kind of take a little turn here real quick and say, since we're talking about young Sheldon, I want to talk about young Iron Man. Because in Captain America Civil War, there's a flashback scene from 30 years ago where Tony Stark is talking to his parents before they died. And that is actually Robert Downey Jr. because Marvel chose not to recast him. And instead, they just kind of like photoshopped him into a younger version of himself. Oh, yeah. And this let them kind of retain the nuances and performances of RDJ. And I got to tell you, I'm glad they did that because so often when they do a flashback scene like that, it takes you completely out of it because they have an actor playing the quote unquote young version of them. Yeah. And they look nothing like the actor playing the older version of them. Sure. And it just is just like, oh, come on, not even, this isn't even close, you know, and you've just ruined it for me now. So thankfully, there was so much material from RDJ's younger years on film to use as reference material that the team at Lola VFX did a great job at making him look natural. Now this ties in because even though Ian Armitage doesn't look like Jim Parsons,
he acts like
super cute, and their mannerisms and stuff are similar enough that you buy it.
Exactly.
They did a really good job casting this kid. And even though he's blonde and they have to kind of dye his hair, you buy him completely as a young Sheldon Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're in this weird spot where the family's going to start kind of falling apart. And I'm a little nervous because as a character, we love Sheldon, you know, he's a beloved character, and I don't know if I'm prepared to see him go through this struggle.
You know, it's going to happen.
Falling apart.
Yeah. Because, you know, obviously we know so much about Big Bang that we know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually watching this season. I've watched every other season and pretty much catch them on the reruns. You know, but and I'll catch this season on the reruns too, but I'm not keeping up on it. Yeah.
Well,
I know you've been filling me in.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, there's some good stuff happening. Like I said, Annie Potts is fantastic on this show. Her storyline, she's running an illegal gambling casino in the back of her laundromat. I mean,
so funny.
It's so fun. Georgie is dynamite as well. He's gotten himself into this trouble now, but he was a surprise for me. I didn't think I was going to like that character as much as I actually do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's fantastic. And he is one of those characters that even though he's not book smart, he is so street smart. He's got such a gift. He's so talented as a salesman that he doesn't need anything else. Just leave him alone. He's going to be fine. But at the same time, he's falling in these giant potholes. You know, you're like, oh my gosh, you just don't do that. No, you know. But it's a really fun show, even though they're dealing with some issues right now. So I like it.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
Sometimes Mary gets on my nerves though. I didn't realize she was going to be so
religious,
overbearing. Religious and overbearing with it. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, Missy can't do anything. She's like, you know, she's really like hard Missy on that girl. I know.
Yeah.
You know,
she's cute.
She is.
And smart as a whip.
Yeah. She's emotionally very intelligent. And I think she gets the short end of the stick a lot because of Sheldon.
Yeah.
So I feel for her. You know, I really do.
Well, I think both of them got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
You know.
But what's interesting now is seeing them stop being resentful of it, because I think in the beginning when we were seeing them, they were very resentful of it.
Yes.
And now they're all maturing, obviously, but Georgie and Missy especially are seeing that he can't help a lot of it. And I think when
they realize that.
Yes. And I think when they were younger, they thought maybe he could.
Yeah.
And now they're realizing he can't help it. He's trying his hardest, actually.
Right.
But he can't overcome some of the stuff. And so it's an interesting dynamic to watch occur. I think they're doing a really good job with it. So I'm interested
like it
to
a lot
see.
too. Yeah. We'll see how many years this goes on, you know. But I have a feeling it's going to go for a while.
I think it'll probably be an 8-year run.
You think so? Yeah, provided that the main characters stay there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And why not? They got a good gig going.
They do, but sometimes inexplicably people decide to leave.
Yeah, exactly. How old is the kid now?
He's 14.
Yeah, he's 14 now. So let's see how long this goes on.
I think he's only playing 12 right now.
As a matter of fact, his birthday was just the other day, July 15th. So he just turned 14. So yeah, I mean,
he's pulling it off.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a good show. Well, we couldn't let episode Y go by without me mentioning my favorite movie, which happens to start with a Y. All-time favorite is Young Frankenstein. I love this movie. From 1974. It's a comedy horror film. screenplay was co-written by both Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, but Gene Wilder is the one who came up with the original concept.
Yes.
And then they brought in Mel Brooks, and of course, Mel Brooks directed it. His inspiration came from young Tom Edison. That's how he came up with the Young Frankenstein. And then he asked himself, if I was Dr. Frankenstein's grandson, like what would happen? And that's kind of where he started and went off with his idea. And of course, it's based off of the original movies that I grew up with too. And I'm still scared to watch these to this day. It's Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. But it's satire based on those movies.
Yes.
And nobody has ever done that before. The plot is that the infamous Dr. Victor Frankenstein, who created the science of bringing back the dead, left his entire family estate and mansion in Transylvania with all of its secrets to his grandson, Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, played by Gene Wilder, who never wanted anything to do with his family history. But then when he inherited everything, he went to inspect the property. Once there, he went all in and worked to create a creature of his own.
Well, he looked at the science and he was like, hey, this is doable.
Yeah.
This makes sense. So he had to try it. I mean, you know, you got to give it a shot.
Hey, I'm there.
Exactly.
I
got all the
equipment.
stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Found all the books.
Right.
So they took the idea to Columbia Film Company.
Right.
And Columbia came back with, your budget's up to $2 million. We won't go penny over $2 million. When they did their budget, they came up with $2.3 million. Of course, you and I know that it's going to go over that anyway. And Columbia passed. So they took it over to 20th Century Fox.
Well, they also had a problem with it being black and white.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So they took it over to 20th Century Fox and they said, run with it. And you're absolutely right, because they knew that Europe wouldn't pick it up because they weren't picking up anything black and white anymore. And they also wanted to make sure that it was good for TV viewing. 20th Century Fox was okay with it starting in black and white, but they wanted to transition to color. And Mel Brooks was like, no, that'll ruin it. Nope.
Yeah.
And he was adamant. And obviously they gave in.
Finally.
And good thing.
Yeah.
Good thing, because it would have just ruined the film.
Sure.
You know?
It needed to be in black and white. That was the point.
Exactly. And black and white actually supported the story.
Sure.
From the beginning to the end, which was hysterical from the beginning to the end.
Well, if you think about it too, have you ever seen a mob in color? A lynch mob in color?
No.
There's a reason for that.
Yes, I have.
But it doesn't play as well.
No.
You need to have that medieval mentality going on. And if it's not in black and white, it takes you out of that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's too contemporary.
Yeah. So hysterical from the beginning to the end. It opens with Dr. Frankenstein's casket getting open to get to the box where the will is, and the skeleton wouldn't let it go.
No.
All the way to the end where Frederick and Inga get married, and she asks him, hey, during the transference, you gave him part of your brain. What did you get?
He got his sexual prowess is basically.
There was a word for that. Schwanstucker. So,
oh, sweet mystery of life.
And you realize what a great voice the girls had too.
Oh yeah, Madeline Kahn was
she's
out of sight.
Phenomenal voice.
Yeah.
And talk about Madeline Kahn. Do you know that they originally wanted her to be the lab assistant?
I know.
And she was like, yeah, no, I want to be the fiance.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
I loved her as the fiance.
I did too. She did a great job. Everybody did a great job. What a great cast that they had. So we had Gene Wilder, of course, who was
Frankenstein. That's funny.
Dr. Frankenstein. No, it's pronounced Frankenstein. And we had Peter Boyle as the monster, as Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Feldman as not Igor, it was Igor.
Igor. Mm-hmm. With his crazy eyes.
Oh my God. And they told me it was Igor. Well, they were wrong, weren't they?
I love the fact that his hump kept moving.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was him.
What hump?
Yeah. He kept moving it. And it wasn't originally supposed to be moving.
That's funny.
He kept moving it. And so they put it in.
And when he goes to touch him on that shoulder and there's no hump.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Wasn't that over there?
Really? Yeah.
No.
And then Terry Garr was Inga, the lab assistant.
She was great.
She really was. Cloris Leachman.
I love when she's kissing the painting. She's trying to make it like she's not.
Frau Bucher. There was a thing for the longest time that Brucher meant glue. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Well, he came up with that idea that the horses would be afraid of her because he wanted her to be scary. So,
she wasn't, though.
Well, to a degree. In the beginning, when she opens the door, it was like she was a little scary. She was a little intimidating.
Yeah, but not when she starts offering him like warm milk and Ovaltine and
the doctor likes some brandy.
She stops being scary. He's just like, get out.
Warm milk.
Yeah,
I love that part too. Ovaltine. And of course, they had some references of different pop cultures at that time. When he pulls up in the train and he says, "Pardon me, boy, is this the Transylvania station?" And the kid goes, yeah, track 99. That comes right from "Pardon me, boy, is this the Chattanooga Choo Choo?" Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh, it is way before your time.
Yeah.
Way before your time.
This movie was before my time.
I know
all of it was before my time.
I know.
That's probably why I don't think it's as funny as you do.
Well, I know you've asked me, but hang on for a second. So Kenneth Mars was the
inspector or whatever,
the
right?
Inspector, yeah.
Guy.
Kemp.
With
the arm.
Crazy arm.
I know. When he does the darts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman plays a blind guy who's got a small little part that he didn't get paid for.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just asked Gene Wilder to get him a part.
He just wanted something small.
Yeah.
And then because they were friends. And
they
Gene
played
Wilder,
tennis together.
There you go. And Gene Wilder said, no, I got a part for you. And that was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so good.
He was so good.
You would ask me, why is this my favorite movie of all time?
Yeah.
And comedies are my favorite.
Right.
Okay. I think it might have something to do with watching Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein as I was growing up. There were so many things that were taken right out of those. Satire is what I like.
Yeah.
And I love this cast. I love Mel Brooks. You know that.
I know.
As a matter of fact, Gene Wilder feels that this was Mel's most brilliant movie.
And a lot of them do. Like Gene Hackman loved it, and even Gene Wilder said this was his favorite movie. Did you? Yeah. And I love Madeline Kahn in this movie. She is my favorite.
Yeah.
When he's trying to kiss her, and she's like, "No, don't smear my lipstick."
Not on the lips.
Yeah. And then like, don't touch the hair. I just stuck my hair. And then, the dress, don't crease my dress.
Tap it up.
The nails,
Yeah.
It's just, she is my favorite part of this movie, hands down.
Yeah. And how about when she comes in like the Bride of Frankenstein with the hair?
Yeah.
And she hisses like the Bride of Frankenstein did.
Yeah.
These are the little things that I'm telling you about. This is why I love this movie so much.
I know you do. And it's probably why this movie is that one for you. And Spaceballs is my favorite for me because I grew up watching Star Wars.
Right.
And Spaceballs is such a heavy satire of Star Wars, and all those little things click for me that I find to be hilarious. So Spaceballs is my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Right. And I love Spaceballs too.
I know. But like when I'm looking at the two, I'm like, but all the references that I don't get for Young Frankenstein, I do get for Spaceballs. So.
Okay. And I can see that because, you got to be a little older to catch some of the other references. You're absolutely right. Some of the things that I found out, one of my favorite parts is when the fiance comes and he says to Igor, can you give me a hand with the bags? He says, certainly. You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the turban. That took 8 or 9 takes because Gene Wilder could not keep a straight face.
Cloris Leachman complained about him because he used to break constantly. And she's like, it will take 15 takes to get through anything because he won't stop laughing.
He could not stop laughing. The camera guys, they couldn't stop laughing either. And they would shake the camera. A couple of things I didn't know until I started doing a little bit of research. The equipment that they had, that was actually the original.
Yes. That guy had it in his garage.
In his garage. Can you imagine?
No.
They had him on the set to help out too. And I thought that was pretty wonderful.
And I think he didn't get credit the first time around, but he got credited for this film. So it was kind of like justice was served.
Yeah. Another did you know is when the monster was on the table after the brain was inserted, and then they threw the switches to charge him with the electricity in the lightning storm. His head glowed. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a rubber mold of Peter Boyle's head. And they had carved out teeth. So when it glowed, people have asked, how was that done? It was a light bulb on a dimmer switch.
Oh my goodness.
Something so simple. And it made such an impact in that movie. Isn't that wild?
Wow. Yeah. That's cool.
One of my favorite parts is the Abby Normal. When he asks him about what brain he got. I won't be mad. You promise not to be mad? I won't be mad. Abby somebody. Abby Normal. You're saying I put an abnormal brain into a 7.5 foot long, 54-inch wide gorilla? And he's choking over and he's doing the charades for the sedative. So many good parts.
I also like the blind man scene when he's serving him soup.
Oh my God.
And he's just missing constantly, pouring the soup in his lap. And he's like leaving, and then he's in the door. He's like, I was just gonna make an espresso. Like, oh my God, did you just say that? Really? That was an ad-lib line too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. The putting on the Ritz.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now, when Gene Wilder presented that to Mel Brooks, Mel said to him, what are you, crazy? You're going to do a tap dance with the monster? It's like, this is not a musical. And Gene Wilder insisted. I saw an interview. He turned from red to purple, he said, insisting. Yeah. And then after a while, Mel says, okay, it's in. And he's like, you made me go through all that? He goes, yeah, because I wasn't sure if it was a terrible idea or if it was a brilliant idea. And from you insisting, I realized that it's a brilliant idea. So yeah, let's do it.
It's a great part.
It's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's a great part.
So
but they fought a lot over this movie, like a lot.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Mel didn't jump on, because knowing what they did with the producers before that, right?
Yeah.
And they
had Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Both of these had a musical in it. So why not this one too?
Walk This Way was written, the Aerosmith song Walk This Way was written because of this movie.
Exactly.
Because of Igor.
Exactly. Walk This Way. And he gives him the cane to walk. Walk this way.
It's so small too, that cane.
It's a cane, I know. And then Gene Wilder just gives up on the cane.
He just protects it.
I know. So funny. So many great lines. So many great parts. Love it. I love it so much that I got up 3 o'clock in the morning to watch this. So I was prepared to talk about this today.
You're nuts.
I know. Because
I have
you can't watch it for free. Oh, I don't have it.
I have it.
As much as I love this film, I don't have it.
I can't believe you don't have it.
I don't have DVDs. I don't do that.
I know, but still, it's your favorite one.
It's my favorite one. I should have it.
You should have it.
Yeah.
And I remember I told you I had 2 versions of Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I lied. I've got 3 versions.
That's fantastic. It deserves it, though.
I know. I was looking at it because I have the Mel Brooks collection that I forgot that I had them. I knew, but I forgot that Spaceballs was in there for some reason. I just didn't count it. Yeah. And then when I was looking, I was like, where is my Young Frankenstein? And I was like, oh yeah, there's another Spaceballs right there.
Oh man,
you're a little overboard with the Spaceballs. A little bit overboard.
It's deservingly though. Yeah, but I should have borrowed your DVD.
You should have. I should have remembered.
I didn't even think of that.
Send it to you.
Yeah, I could have.
I know. I did watch it though because
did you?
It had. I mean, honestly, it's probably 15 years or more since I've seen it.
Well, for me, I remember it came on during the pandemic when we had our lockdown.
Oh.
You know, and it was perfect for me because it was like you're out of reality.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're watching this movie that you love so much.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I saw it was 2 years. So I wanted to watch it again just to refresh my memory on some of the parts. But yeah, so good. So good.
I watched it because I was struggling to remember some of the stuff with the inspector, and I had actually forgotten about the part where how the bride and Frankenstein hook up. I had forgotten about that.
Oh well,
that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
The sweet mystery of life. That's the best.
It really is. And you realize what a great voice she's got. Madeline Kahn had a wonderful voice. Yeah. So
and
good.
She picked that song because she was like, it needed an ah or an o or something, in front. So, but it fits so perfectly. I mean, you just lose it when she does that because she's so opposed.
And when Terry Garr does it at the end too, it's perfect.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah, what a great movie.
So this episode is Y, which means next week's episode is Z, and it will be the last episode of this season.
Amazing.
I can't believe how quickly it's gone by.
It really has. And how many episodes we've done.
I know.
Yeah, that'll be number 26.
Jeepers.
Yeah. So we're ready to go. We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.